You had mentioned the woman that you were talking about earlier. She had occult knowledge.
Yeah.
That the way you made it sound, it just appeared in her mind. She
Yeah,
just
that's right.
like a download or something. What
Right.
what is what is occult knowledge?
It's basically demons can feed people two kinds of information. So occult knowledge is of two kinds. The first is they can just put an image in your imagination about what's happening in another location. Or if a demon is putting a thought in someone's head, they can actually put the thought in someone else's head and tell this person, this is what this guy's thinking. So they can, you see that somewhat commonly. So they can give us particular knowledge about things that are actually happening. Then this could be even through a person's history. So they can, you walk in and all of a sudden, if the person is possessed, they can the demons will just, if they're manifested, they'll start telling you about things that have happened in your history and you've never even met this person. So it deals with particular knowledge. The other kind is,
Could that be could that be the other side as well?
in what sense?
Could the good side could God send somebody to read your mind?
Yes, they can. It's called divine revelation. That can happen, but it's extraordinarily rare. And just as the demons can put stuff in our minds, our guardian angels and angels can put stuff in our minds as well for the good, to kind of clue us in and things of that sort. The other form is kind of a generalized knowledge of it's like a science. So demons can actually teach people things about how like physical things work. I'm personally convinced that even though I'm kind of a fan of a lot of his work, is Tesla. When Tesla was coming up with all these ideas, I'm like, how would this guy come up? And he actually describes how his inventions would come into his mind all completely, the design all complete at once, instantaneously. It wasn't that he thought, okay, if I do this and I put this together and put this, it wasn't that. It was just the whole thing comes together in his mind. That's how demons actually communicate the knowledge to him. And there is some report. I'm still trying to track down the veracity of it, but there's a report that he was actually involved in spiritualism. Which is a form of the occult. But anyway, so they can give us those kinds of knowledge. And you see this like in cases in session, people who have not had any serious theological training, when the demons are talking, they're making theological distinctions that, someone who has my level of study knows, but the person who's possessed has no clue what it means. In fact, sometimes they'll come out of the session and they're like, what does that mean? They don't even know what it means, but it's actually very, it's at a level that and it's very clear and it's very precise, and their distinctions, their wording is done